40 years back in November 1984, 4,006 were killed in Delhi, the capital of India. The genocide continued unabated for 3 days. Every minute, one Sikh was killed on the streets of Delhi. After the genocide, the guilty were given high positions and they were given the position of power. For 40 years, the victims are still waiting for justice. The cases for the justice to the victims are still continuing even now. I, H.S. Phoolka, a senior advocate, has been handling these cases right from number 1984 onwards. Through this video series, we have made an effort to bring to you how this massacre was planned. It's an effort to take you through the whole entire journey of this 14 years.
Hi everyone and welcome to today's episode. My name is Neetika Khaitan and I am a lawyer working on state repression in the History PhD program at Yale University. I am joined by Senior Advocate H.S. Phoolka, who for the last 4 decades has worked on cases related to the 1984 anti-Sikh pogrom. Thank you so much, Phoolka ji, for joining us. I wanted to ask, in the aftermath of such horrendous violence, what was the response of the government and of civil society?
The government tried to wrap up everything under the carpet. The government gave a very low figure of killing, and before that, the government spread the rumors that the Sikhs rejoicing, Sikhs were celebrating the assassination of Mrs. Gandhi. That's how the Hindus and the other people, the Congress workers, they uh, they were so agitated that they attacked the Sikhs, and the Sikhs were distributing sweets, and it spread the rumors that the train loads of dead bodies of Hindus are coming from Punjab. I mean, all these kind of rumors. Then even that the Sikhs have poisoned the water in the water tanks, and so this kind of rumors were spread to spread a hatred against the Sikhs. Then after the violence, the government said no major killing has taken place. Only some Sikhs have been killed. The Home Minister gave a figure of 600 Sikhs killed throughout India. They tried to downplay the scale of the killing. On 17th November 84, the leader of opposition, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, in response to the Home Minister's statement that only 606 Sikhs throughout India have been killed, he released a list of 2,706 killed in Delhi alone. Now, this list was prepared by Madanlal Khurana, who later became the Chief Minister of Delhi. The government immediately, they say Vajpayee is anti-national, he's favoring the Sikhs, he's giving a exaggerated figure. But later on, after 3 years, when the official figure of killing, you see, it took government 3 years to come to know that what is the number of the killing, how many citizens in the capital have been killed. The figure came 2,733. So now when this narrative was set by the government, at that time, the civil society became active to inform the people, inform the public what has happened, what has actually the scale of, what is the scale of the violence. So the PUCL and PUDR, they started their investigation right from the first week of November itself. So they conducted the investigation, and in November itself, in the last week, they came out with this report. Who are the guilty? And in this report, for the first time, the country and the whole world came to know that what had happened. this, the country, the people came to know that Sikhs were not the aggressor at any time. From this, the people came to know that the police totally connived with the mobsters in killing the Sikhs. From this, the people came to know that everywhere the mobs were being led by the Congress I leaders, because this was the first version of the victims. They went to the relief camps in the second week of November, and in those relief camps they interview the victims, and the victims gave the true account. The police was not registering any FIRs. The police were only taking the complaints from the victims, that give us a complaint of the loss what you have suffered. Like I mentioned earlier also, the police had recorded an innocuous FIR, मिसेस गांधी की असैसिनेशन हो गई, लोगों को गुस्सा आया, थोड़ी हिंसा बढ़ गई, बस. Then after that, anyone whosoever has given the complaint that I have lost 4 members of family, my 5 members in my family are killed, they didn't register FIR, they just tagged it along with that innocuous FIR. And this was criticized by many committees, by many courts after that, that this was a wrong procedure which was adopted. Even Mishra Commission, Nanavati Commission also criticized it. Now, what came out of this report? This report said the gave the name of the leaders which the victims had named, the leaders who had led the mob. Now you see, most of these victims in this area of West Delhi and East Delhi, which were the worst affected areas, they mostly were the Congress supporters. Most of them had the photograph of Indira Gandhi at their home. But the way they were killed, they gave the account, and the list is given by in this report. You see, this is the list given of this report, with the victims have named H.K.L. Bhagat. He was earlier the Minister of State, and at that time he was the Minister of State. And in December, when the new election took place, Rajiv Gandhi again was elected as became the Prime Minister. He promoted him and made him the Cabinet Minister. Then they gave Baburam Sharma. This is a corporator of Congress Party. Sajjan Kumar, MP of the Congress Party. Lalit Makan, MP of the Congress Party. Dharmdas Shastri, MP of the Congress Party. Jagdish Title, he was MP of the Congress Party. Later on in December, he was made minister as a reward for the killing of the Sikhs. Then Mahinder, he was a councillor. Mangatram Singhal, a councillor. Dr. Ashok, a councillor. Sukhanlal Sood, a councillor. Jagdish Tokas, councillor. Ishwar Singh, councillor. Balwant Khokhar, a leader of the Congress I, he was also a councillor. And now Balwant Khokhar is in jail along with Sajjan Kumar. He was co-accused in Sajjan Kumar case. He's in jail now. He was awarded, he was convicted. It took 30 years to convict this man. Then Faiz Muhammad, a Youth Congress I leader. This is from Shakarpur area. Then Ratan, Youth Congress I leader. This is from Palam Colony. Satvir, a leader. So then even they have named the police officer. The police officer which the victim said that this police officer was with the mob. They were instigating the mob, or they were supporting the mob in killing the Sikhs. They gave the name of those police officers also. Then they gave the other names also which have come. And it's very, very unfortunate, I tell you, in the Tirupuri area particularly, the names which are mentioned over here, I mean, all those people who were the Congress supporter, whether they were the Hindus or they were Muslims or they were Christians, all of them who were the Congress supporters, they were involved in killing of the Sikhs. Now you see the names over there, they have given Block 27, Ishar Ali, Salim, Basa. There are so many of them. Then Karamat, Shabnam, and this Abbas, and this Duli Chand. Abbas and Duli Chand were convicted. They filed their appeal in the High Court together. They were convicted in one case. Kareem Ali, Niamat Ali. Then so like that, there are so many. Say this is very, very unfortunate. So see, this is actually not a communal rat in the sense Hindu versus Sikhs. This was an attack on minorities But attack was not only by the majority community, the attack was by the government. Attack was by the ruling party, the Congress, and all those who were supporters of the Congress. They participated in killing of the Sikhs. So this is the first time when this report came out, the people came to know that what is the reality, what has happened. After this report, at that time the president of the PUDR, Govinda Mukhote, he was a senior advocate, a very renowned advocate in India. He filed a writ petition in Delhi High Court that a commission of inquiry should be appointed. This writ petition came up before the bench of Justice Sachar. Justice Sachar immediately took it up and he wanted to hear the petition, and the government could sense and see that Justice Sachar was in favor of appointing the commission of inquiry. Would you believe it? The roster was changed. The roster was changed. Justice Sachar was number 2 in Delhi High Court that time. The roster was changed. The bench, after the vacation, the matter came before the different bench of Yogeshwar Dayal and Justice B.N. Kirpal. And they made such remarks against the journalist. And after that, they finally decided this case in March, dismiss the writ petition and say appointment of commission of inquiry. This is the judgment. This is the judgment. And they say appointment of commission of inquiry would demoralize the police force. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, this judgment, we will put the link of this judgment in the video, and you see the judgment in particularly in the paragraph 60, 61 and 62. They say this will demoralize the police force who had acted so efficiently. Look at this, the High Court is saying this, and they dismiss this petition on this ground, and later on the inquiry was appointed on the demand of Akali leader. Then in the month of April, there was a accord, Rajiv Longowal accord. This Longowal was the president, Sant Longowal was the president of the Akali Dal. There was a accord with Rajiv Gandhi Longowal accord, and in that the Akalis put this demand that to appoint a commission of inquiry. So then the commission of inquiry was appointed, and the sitting judge of Supreme Court, Justice Ranganath Mishra, who later on became the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India, he was appointed as a commission of inquiry. Mishra in his report has given the finding which totally belies the finding of the Delhi High Court, Yogeshwar Dayal. The Mishra has said clearly that police is responsible not only for negligence of their duties, the police is also responsible for conniving with the mobs. This is at page 63 of the report. Page 63 of the report, Mishra has said, I'll just read, it is a fact that the commission on the basis of the satisfaction records a finding that the first information reports were not received if they were implicated the police or any person in authority, and informant was required to delete such allegation from the written reports. When the oral reports were recorded, they were not taken down verbatim, and the brief statement dropping out the allegation against the police officer and the official and the men in the position were written. Then would further say, the commission was shocked to find that there were incidents where the police wanted a clear and definite allegation against the anti-social elements of different localities to be dropped. Unless the police were hand in glove with the anti-social elements in their respective localities, they would not have behaved this way. And it also says the investigation was by the police was totally perfunctory. Then it says, coming to these aspects at Delhi, the picture was very grim, and the commission is inclined to agree with the victim that the major part of the responsibility must be shared by the police. It further says the criminal activity in the Delhi, apart from being widespread and greater intensity, exhibited a varied spectrum of human conduct. This requires a thorough investigation and the careful handling. The same police who remained ineffective during the riot and against whom several allegations were advanced, whether recorded or not, were the investigating agency in respect of the FIR. The Commission find it not difficult at all to appreciate and accept the contention of the victim that in such circumstances proper investigation could not be conducted. So this, but the Delhi High Court says that police had done a fantastic job. This will demoralize the Commission of Inquiry, demoralize police. When the Commission of Inquiry is constituted, the Commission of Inquiry finds that the Delhi police was not only ineffective, they connived, they tried to, they were in hand in glove with these goons, and so they were totally responsible for the violence which had taken place and the killing which had taken place.
Was any inquiry ever conducted into the police?
In November itself, the inquiry was Joint Commissioner of Police Marwa, Ved Marwa, was asked to hold an inquiry. Now this, you see, Rahul Bedi filed an writ petition. Rahul Bedi is a journalist. He filed a writ petition specifically making allegation against the police officers who were responsible for the massacre. Now, when that writ petition came up for hearing before Delhi High Court, this is the order which was passed, and this order which is passed, and in this the government told the Delhi High Court that Ved Marwa inquiry is constituted. This is 10th April 85. That Ved Marwa inquiry is constituted, and so therefore there is no need of the High Court to entertain writ petition. On this ground, the High Court dismissed the writ petition. Later on, the government tells Ved Marwa to stop his inquiry because the police officer, when they came to Ved Marwa, since he was their own officer, they told Ved Marwa the whole truth from where the orders have come, what had transpired. So the government became suspicious that this finding will come against the government. So therefore, the government asked Ved Marwa to stop the inquiry and not to proceed further. The Ved Marwa himself told Nanavati Commission, Ved Marwa himself, this is at page 138, when Ved Marwa was called by Nanavati Commission, he himself told the Nanavati Commission that I was asked to stop the inquiry. So he was not permitted to complete the inquiry because government was apprehensive that many facts which will damage the government officers and the police officials would come out in this inquiry. And later on the recommendation of Mishra Commission, a Kusum Mittal committee was constituted to inquire the role of the police officials. I will tell you in detail about the proceedings of the Kusum Mittal committee also.
Besides PUDR and PUCL, what was the role played by other civil society groups?
When this violence started from day one, many civil society groups and many individuals, public spirited individuals, they were shocked to see this large scale of violence. Many of them, they tried to control the violence, to stop the mobsters, and on the 31st itself, Ram Jethmalani, who later on became the law minister also, and he was a prominent lawyer. He went and met the home minister to call the army. Then there are many other people from the civil society who tried on the 1st November also to somehow check this violence, but they could not succeed. So on 2nd November, they organized a peace march in Lajpat Nagar, in Jangpura, in this area. And so Chandrasekhar, who later on became the Prime Minister of the country, he led this peace march. this Ram Jethmalani and many others, they were part of this peace march. Then Dinesh Mohan, Jaya Srivastava, they all were there. So when these people found that they are not been able to do much, then another thing, some of the lawyers of the Supreme Court, the leading lawyers of the Supreme Court, they uh, they decided that we cannot sit just a mute spectator at homes. We need to do something. They decided to get together at the Supreme Court. Supreme Court was closed. There was no judge. Imagine Delhi is burning, Supreme Court is closed, there is no judge in the Supreme Court. So they gathered Ram Jethmalani, Justice Tarkunde, Venugopal, who later became the Attorney General of India, this and Prashant Bhushan, Shanti Bhushan, and Kamini Jaiswal, and so many people, the prominent, and G.L. Sanghi, they they got together at the Supreme Court and they decided to go to the affected areas. So they went to East Delhi. They saw the manner of killing was happening at that time. Police was not effective at all. Police was not trying to stop the violence at all. So this is their experience. Many of them has given affidavits also. But this the group which held this peace march, when they realized that they are not able to stop the violence, so they decided to form a group to help the victims. So on 2nd November itself, they formed a group and named it Nagarik Ekta Manch. So Dinesh Mohan, the professor from IIT, Jaya Srivastava, Lalita Ramdas, and so many of them, they got together and they formed Nagarik Ekta Manch. From 3rd November itself, they started going to various places to help the victims. Now you see this. This is the affidavit. Now these are the affidavits of like those Shanti Bhushan and these of Kamini Jaswal. This is about the visit of the senior advocates who had gone to the area. So this is the affidavit now I am showing you of Dinesh Mohan. He was the founder member of Nagarik Ekta Manch. So he has written that from 3rd November, they started going to the various areas and to give some kind of they collected the some relief material and some clothes, some blanket and some food, and to distribute it to the people, because uh, there were children and the houses were burnt. There were widows and there were children. There were women. Everything in the house was looted. That was burnt. There absolutely nothing, no food to even eat. There no clothes were left. So these people came forward, immediately collected the relief material and gave them the relief. Now this Dinesh Mohan has written that when they went to Punjabi Bagh area to distribute relief, the police told them, "Why are you helping the Sikhs?" So this was the attitude of the police. When somebody was coming forward to give a relief to the material to the Sikhs, the police was stopping them. After that, this is the affidavit of Jaya Srivastava. She has also written that she also joined Nagarik Ekta Manch. And you see this is shocking revelations which she is making. She say the scenes of misery that confronted me at Nanak Sar Ashram. This was a relief camp was established at this ashram. Uh, Seemed unbelievable. A Lajwanti Kaur who had lost 18 members of her family. 18 members of her family. Swarn Kaur, whose partly burnt son was brought uh, in front of me. Means her son was partly burnt and was lying in that leaf camp, not in the hospital. That was the state of the affair. And Jarnal Kaur, 25-year-old with 5 little girls to feed without an earning member. The list is endless. So these people then came forward, they helped, they distributed the relief material to the camps. And in fact, I will tell you later on that when I went for the first time to the relief camp, around 21st November 1984. So I met them, the volunteers of Nagar Ekta Manch. Even Sagarika Ghosh, who is this a known journalist, she has also mentioned that she was in the Miranda House College at that time, and along with the professors of her college, she used to go to the relief camps. So the civil society was very active, and if the civil society had not provided this help to the Sikhs or the victims, the things would have been much worse.
Apart from the PUDR PUCL report, did any other civil society groups bring out reports?
Yes. One report was the similar inquiry, like the PUCL, PUDR had conducted. Similar inquiry was conducted by Justice Tarkunde group. They came out with the report, this truth about Delhi violence. This is the report, truth about this Delhi violence. This report, the whole report is there at the carnage84.com. In fact, the who are the guilty, PUCL, PUL report also, and this Tarkunde report also is there on the carnage84.com. And they also came out with the same findings that the Congress leaders was involved. They were leading the mobs. Police was conniving with the mob in killing the Sikhs. Then another inquiry was held by Justice Sikri. Justice S.M. Sikri, the former Chief Justice of India. He, along with this Governor and some other officials, they formed a citizen commission. So, former Chief Justice of India, a Govind Naran, the former governor, Gurbachan Singh, former ambassador, they went to the relief camps and they wrote a report, Citizen Commission report. That report was also the same finding. That report is also there at the carnage84.com, the whole copy of the report. That their finding was also the same. They publicly did not name the culprits, but the name of the culprit in the sealed cover they sent it to the Prime Minister office. No action is taken. No action is taken on that. So this is later on. All these groups they became the part of the Citizen Justice Committee.
How is the first Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the 84 violence constituted?
This is on Rajiv Longowal accord, the Akali leader. That is, it was their demand. So it was constituted in May 1985. Justice Mishra, Rangnath Mishra, sitting judge of the Supreme Court, in May 1985, the one-man commission of inquiry was constituted.
You came to become secretary of the Citizens Justice Commission, which represented several victims in front of the Ranganath Mishra Commission. Could you speak about how the CJC was formed?
You see, that time I was the lawyer just with 3 years of standing, and I was just struggling to settle down in Delhi. I had come from Punjab and only in 1981, and so I could not have played much role into this. But when I went to the relief camp, so I realized that whatever little I can help, I should do that. So I started following up these cases, like this Govinda Mukhote's case, like the Rolbedi writ petition. So I started up following them and supporting them whatever they can. When these matters were being handled by the senior advocates, when even their juniors was much senior to me, when these advocates were of that level. So I was only giving little help here and there. Later on, when the Mishra Commission was constituted, so I thought that all these groups, everybody should get together, and if we remain like scattered like this, the government is very powerful. Rajiv Gandhi government had 3/4 majority. They had over 400 seats in the parliament that time. They had 3/4 majority. Government was very powerful. So I thought, let me work on this. So I went to Justice Narula. He was the retired Chief Justice of Punjab High Court, and he was practicing as a lawyer over there. I say we all of us should come together. I went to Hardev Singh. the senior advocate in Supreme Court, and I also requested him. Gyan Singh Vora, another senior advocate. So I said we all should come together, form one group. Then General Justin Rula told me, you go to General Roda. General Jagjit Singh Roda, he was a Bangladesh war hero, and this Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Roda had formed the Sikh Forum. They formed in December 84. So this is the first time that I met General Roda. So I gave this idea of General Roda. He liked it. He said, this is a very good idea. We must do that. Then even we called a meeting of together on 11th May 85. We called a meeting of Akali Dal, Gurdwara committee, some lawyers, everybody together. And after that meeting, I went and met Khushwant Singh. Khushwant Singh took me to Soli Sorabjee. And Soli Sorabjee said, this is a very good idea. Then Soli Sorabjee planned. He said, this will be purely a group of civil society. Gurdwara committee and Akali Dal will not be part of it. They will coordinate with the group, but this group will be purely of the civil society group. And he approached Justice Tarkunde, and the PUCL, PUDR, they also became part of it. Then what was decided? President of PUCL, Professor Rajni Guthadi, President of PUDR, Govinda Mukhote, and Justice Tarkunde, and the Secretary of Justice Tarkunde Group, N.D. Pancholi, and then General Rodas, President of Sikh Forum, then Justice Narula, because he was senior advocate, and Soli Sorabjee, and they all became the member. Then when we asked Justice Tarkunde to be the president, Justice Tarkunde said, no, I better you request Justice Sikri. So they requested Justice S.M. Sikri, the former Chief Justice of India, to be the president, and he very kindly consented to this, and he became the president. And they were looking for the member secretary, some retired IPS officer or IAS officer. While they were looking for that, they asked me to handle the secretary's job in the meanwhile. So it took more than a month trying to approach various police officers, IAS officers. And after a month, when the meeting was held, and 2-3 officers who were approached, they have expressed inability because they are based out of Delhi or some other reasons. So Soli Sorabjee says, this boy is doing so well. He's been handling everything till now. Let him continue as a member secretary. So that's how the whole responsibility came on me. I had not even completed 4 years. I was only 3.5 years into practice that time. The whole responsibility, and it was a great honor for me at that time. So we formed our office in the MP quarters. Gurcharan Singh Toda was a member of Akali Dal, member from uh, Akali Dal. His official MP quarters in North Avenue. So he gave us to form the office, because Soli Sorabjee said office will not be in the Gurdwara. So then I was in charge of the office. There were various lawyers, the full team of the lawyers. Ravinder Bhatt was part of our member, who was recently retired as judge of Supreme Court. He was also part of team. He handled Bokaro entirely to himself, and also Kanpur and Delhi also he was a great help. So like this, there were various uh, people, the team of the lawyers, and our team was headed by Soli Sorabjee, Shoesh Malik, a senior advocate of stature. He was regularly appearing for us before this Mishra Commission. So that is how the CJC, Citizen Justice Committee, was constituted and started working for the victims.
Could you speak a bit about the work that the CJC was doing?
You see, CJC represented the victims, and before the commission, whatever affidavit the came to CJC, we vetted those affidavits and filed it in the commission, and then on behalf of the victims, we represented uh, before the commission, and present the case of the victims before the commission.
We are now joined by Senior Advocate N.D. Pancholi. former General Secretary of Citizens for Democracy, and formerly Vice President and founding member of the People's Union for Civil Liberties. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us here today. I wanted to begin by asking about your recollections from that period in 1984 when the anti-Sikh violence in Delhi occurred.
It was a very horrible experience because I have been living in Delhi, in that area, Chandni Chowk. It was not a spontaneous violence. But as we came to know, uh, as a result of our inquiry, that it was manufactured. Main thing which I noticed at that time that repeatedly media was focusing that Srimati Indira Gandhi uh, murdered by two Sikhs and one clean shaven Sikh. And next day that clean shaven Sikh was completely disappeared and it was coming that she was murdered by two Sikhs. So repeatedly mentioning the religion of a person. Next day we went to Tarkunde, who is president of our Citizens for Democracy. We discussed with him, and something should be done. But meanwhile, curfew was imposed. And in my area, Chandni Chowk area, what I witnessed, there was complete looting was going on. At that time, police station was near the Gurdwara, Sisganj Gurdwara. And police was not doing anything. They were just watching. People were looting the shops and police was standing and they were not doing anything. But later on, we conducted our investigation, and during our investigation, we found that there was deliberate attempt to spreading rumors. Situation was being told to the people that violence was spontaneous, but it was not spontaneous. That is what our inquiry found later on. And then another rumor was spread that the killings started from 31st October. That was also wrong. There was no killing on the 31st October. And there were, we saw on the TV, radio, the TV, people were on the 1st November itself, people were going to pay homage to Srimati Indira Gandhi at the Teen Murti house, and in the queue there were six also. There were six they were also shocked that they were going there to pay their respect. But after 1 and 2 hours, then we could not see any Sikh because uh, uh, these slogans were being raised and they were being allowed to be relayed on the TV and radio. खून का बदला खून लेंगे, which this government TV, Doordarshan should not have allowed. But these slogans were being raised and they were being allowed to be shown to the public. So it also created a rage among the people, a kind of hostility, a kind of anger, which was being promoted by certain sections, including the media. There was one rumor which was spread that Sikhs were celebrating and they were distributing sweets among themselves over the murder of Srimati Indira Gandhi. So there were meetings of the Congress leaders at that time in different localities, and they were planning to mobilize people, to mobilize anti-social elements. So there were attacks on the Gurdwaras at that time, and with this rumor that Sikhs were distributing sweets, that was being used to create hostility among the Hindus against the Sikhs. Another rumor was spread that Sikhs have mixed poison in the Jamna river. Another rumor was spread that the Jhelum Express has come from Punjab with dead bodies of the Hindus. That was another rumor. So rumors were coming and news were coming how six shops were being looted and they were being attacked. So I was worried for my one of my friend who was residing in Rajput Nagar. So I went to meet him to inquire into him, but the area, the gates where the entry gate was barricaded by the residents of that area, Lajpat Nagar itself. Um, and they were not allowing any outsider to enter into. They asked me, and then when they became confirmed that I was coming to meet my friend, then they allowed me to go inside. And then I found that the local residents of that area, Sikhs and Hindus, they had made joint committees that they so that no outsider was allowed to come. In fact, what was happening that wherever these attacks were going on against the Sikhs, mostly they were led by some local persons, but outsiders were mobilized. They were not mostly from the local area, but from outside, from villages, and anti-social elements, and they were uh, being arranged by local Congress leaders. This news had also spread that outsiders were coming to attack the Sikhs. So, in some areas, people had made joined this defense committee, and in that area, we saw that how all the all people belonging to all communities they gather together in order to maintain peace so that no outsider or antisocial element is allowed to enter their locality. At that time, I was president of transport workers union. There were about 400 to 500 members in that, and majority of them were Sikhs, and I was worried about them, so I went to Anand Parvat, which was the headquarter of that transport company where they used to take out trucks and reside there. And there I found that they were uh, given quite protection by the local people.
Could you speak about the fact finding report that Citizens for Democracy brought out?
We had started our investigation as soon as this violence against the Sikhs started. We had volunteers who were going and interviewing the people, the victims there, and they were going to relief camps also to interview them. A report we prepared that came out after about more than one and a half month of the PUCL report. And this report had the advantage that it was prepared during time when passions had cooled down. And by that time, when we decided to release our report, I think it was 29th January 1985, when we released our report to the press, and it was very widely covered. Our report brought out many other facts which were not there in the crucial report. When it came out in the public, uh, Rajiv Gandhi gave a statement that how this report has come. The issue is dead, but issue was not dead. This our report created further ground demanding inquiry into this violence against the Sikhs, a judicial inquiry. The two things our report brought out in May, that the criminalization of the politics, the use of such uh, communal feelings in order to promote their political interest. The incident of uh, assassination of Srimati Indira Gandhi was being used for political advantage. The declaration of the election immediately after this assassination was in order to get political advantage to electoral victory, and this killing etc. was done only to show the Hindu people that we are taking some this badla. We are teaching the sixth lesson. Our is the party which is teaching sixth lesson. So that was the design for which all this violence was organized by the Congress party in order to have uh, victory in the election, to win the election. And that is how it happened with huge majority, which no party has ever taken in order to win an election, more than 400 seats. And another lesson which comes from our report is that failure of the police, the criminalization of the police itself, the way the police has been acting as a tool of the party in power. So, in fact, during emergency, the role of the police was widely condemned, and after emergency, a police commission was, for the first time after independence, a police commission was constituted. That is called Dharmvira Police Commission, and they brought out important 8 reports how to reform the police system after 3 years of their labor. And that, but by that time Srimati Indira Gandhi had come again to power, and that report had gone to almost in a dustbin, and that report is time and again talked about, and there was very valuable recommendations for police reforms, how to insulate police from political pressure. But till now, the demand is going on. This police reform is not being implemented as recommended by Dharamvira Commission, and that is how we saw the police played a very dirty role during this violence in 1984 against the Sikhs. I visited some police stations and I inspected some FIRs. Those FIRs, the rule says that when you FIR is lodged, the next day it must be sent to the concerned magistrate. But all the FIRs, whether it was in Mangolpuri or Sultanpuri or Tirlokpuri, they were just kept in the log register. They were not sent to the magistrate immediately. From 1st November to 7th November, no, there were many FIRs, but the police did not, and the victims, they gave the names of the assailants, that they are the people who attacked them. But police did not record their names. They just recorded mob came and they attacked and they set fire, no, without mentioning the name of the assailants. And those FIRs were sent to the magistrate on 7th November. It means that from 1st to 7th November, they did not record any uh, FIR, they just kept their registers low. So this shows how the police was active. And in some cases, police was helping they were acting as they were the aggressors. They were attacking the Sikhs. They were helping the assailants. Those cases also came. There were some instances, 1 or 2 instances also, when some police officials, they behave uh, in a in a manner as they should have behaved. They provided protection also, but these are only one or two cases. But in large number of cases, police help the aggressors to loot and kill and rape and destroy properties of the citizens.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today and for gracing us with your presence.